Chosen ones, it's time to end every enemy for good. Karma will finish them off. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. C.S. Lewis. Welcome back to Spiritual Wisdom, where we dive deep into the truth of who you really are. Today's message is a powerful reminder. For every chosen one out there, you are forever young, not by age, but by God's divine gift. The world may not understand you. It may push, press, and provoke. But remember, the fire within you doesn't flicker at the sound of weak winds. As you watch this video, ask yourself, how have you seen the universe defend you, even in silence? Let us know. In the comments, your story may be the light someone else needs. And if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe together. Our spiritual resonance grows. Let's rise. 1. Your enemies were never fighting you. They were fighting divine order. The struggles you've faced weren't personal attacks. They were reactions to divine order shifting through your presence. Your enemies, whether they appeared as co-workers, friends, or even family members, weren't truly fighting you. They were grappling with the disruption your spiritual energy caused in the illusion they've built around their lives. When a chosen one steps into a space, there is a silent spiritual awakening that occurs where your very presence begins to unravel falsehoods, and that terrifies those still clinging to the comfort of lies. People sense your calling before you even speak a word. Your energy carries the scent of purpose, and that is unsettling for anyone whose life has been built around fear, control, or manipulation. Their hostility isn't strength. It's desperation masked as resistance. They feel their illusions cracking, and rather than face the truth, they lash out at the messenger of change. In today's modern world, this shows up when people try to dim your light, mock your ideas, question your confidence, or label you as too different. But understand this: being different is your divine design. You were never meant to blend in, and God's gift to you is timeless. It's the youthful fire in your soul, the eternal energy that doesn't age with the body. As a chosen one, your spirit remains young because it's continually renewed by divine connection. You may be 40, 50, or 60 years old, but your spirit doesn't wear down the way the world does. Why? Because you're not operating on the world system. You're aligned with a higher frequency, a spiritual order that keeps you grounded, resilient, and vibrant. Every attack, every rejection, every misunderstanding you face is evidence that you carry within you something rare, something that many will not understand until they awaken. So don't let negativity shake you. Let it affirm that you are moving forward according to divine design. Let your challenges be your teachers, not your tormentors. Your spiritual journey is not about avoiding conflict, but about understanding the divine purpose behind it. The more you awaken, the more you will see that the resistance around you is always a sign of your inner mission. You were born to break through darkness, to bring light, to spark renewal. And as the world continues to change rapidly, your role becomes even more important. Cherish your youth, not just as a physical state, but as a spiritual truth. God's gift to you is not limited by age. It is your unshakable spirit, your inner light, your ever-awakening purpose. So go forth. Choose one. You are not getting older. You are becoming more refined, more radiant, more connected. Keep shining, keep rising, and know this: every storm you face is a sign that your light is still on a mission to awaken the world. Show your determination by commenting below, "I choose to rise." 2. The chosen are untouchable because they're aligned with universal truth. You are a chosen one, and that means you're deeply aligned with the universal truth, a truth that cannot be shaken, no matter what life throws your way. When you live in alignment with your spiritual path, grounded in authenticity and love, you become untouchable, not because you're fighting battles with your fists or words, but because the universe fights for you. You don't have to retaliate when someone wrongs you. In fact, the more you try to defend yourself, the more you're pulled out of your divine center. But when you stay rooted in who you truly are, your light does the talking. It exposes lies without you lifting a finger. Have you ever noticed that when you stay calm and true to yourself, those who try to bring you down often end up tripping over their own intentions? That's no accident. That's the spiritual law in motion. It's a kind of silent justice the universe carries out for those who are spiritually awake. Let me tell you a story about Sarah, a young woman working in a highly competitive corporate environment. She was often overlooked, sometimes even sabotaged by coworkers who felt threatened by her quiet confidence and consistent results. Instead of gossiping or retaliating, she chose to stay focused, rooted in her own spiritual growth and integrity. She prayed, she meditated, she worked with excellence. One by one, those who tried to block her path were exposed not by her hand, but by their own behavior. Eventually, Sarah was promoted to lead the very team that once tried to silence her. Why? Because she let the universe do its work while she stayed in alignment with her truth. That's the power of divine timing. That's what it looks like to be untouchable, because you're aligned with universal truth. So I ask you, in your own life, are there moments where you're tempted to fight back, to defend yourself, to prove your worth? What if instead you chose to trust that the universe sees all, hears all, and balances all? What if your role is not to fight, but to stay still, stay wise, and let your spiritual light speak louder than your words ever could? Being chosen doesn't mean life is always easy. It means you're set apart for a higher path, a path of growth, of purpose, of connection with something far greater than yourself. That's why it's so important to protect your energy and stay committed to your spiritual growth. The more you evolve spiritually, the clearer your path becomes, and the less you're affected by the noise and chaos around you. You're not just reacting to life anymore. You're co-creating it with the divine. So the next time you're faced with a challenge or injustice, remember this: you are already protected. Your authenticity is your armor. Your silence is your power. And your alignment with truth is your greatest weapon. Keep showing up as the real you. Keep growing. Keep choosing peace over pride. Because in the long run, the universe always reveals who's who, and those who walk in truth will always rise. The lesson here is simple, but powerful. Spirituality is not about escaping life. It's about standing firm in it with grace and truth. When you walk in spiritual growth, the world may test you, but it will never break you. You are forever young by God's gift, because your soul is ageless, your spirit is resilient, and your light never fades. Declare today by commenting below, "God is with me," and let that truth sink into your heart. Share this message with someone who might need it, because encouragement multiplies when spoken. 3. Silence and detachment are your ultimate weapons. Chosen one, Have you ever noticed how your peace seems to disturb others more than your words ever could? There's a deep spiritual wisdom in your silence, one that not only protects you, but transforms you. You see, silence and detachment are not signs of weakness. They are powerful weapons gifted to you by God. In a world that constantly demands reactions, explanations, and emotional responses, your decision to remain calm, centered, and grounded in your truth is revolutionary. You don't have to justify your presence, your path, or your peace. The moment you realize that you are not obligated to respond, defend, or prove anything to anyone, you step into a divine strength that very few understand. Think about it. Why do they try so hard to get a reaction out of you? Because your energy is radiant. You carry the light of God's favor. The chosen ones are often misunderstood and even targeted, not because they've done something wrong, but because they shine so brightly. And when you refuse to engage in their games, when you stay rooted in calmness and detachment, it disarms them. It starves their ego of the power it craves. Their obsession with you, their attempts to provoke you, only drain them further, while you remain replenished by the endless source of divine peace. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This ancient truth still holds today. Your reaction, or rather, your non-reaction, is what sets you apart. When you cultivate silence, you invite clarity. When you detach, you rise above the noise. You begin to see the world not through the lens of ego or emotion, but through spiritual wisdom, the kind that aligns you with God's higher purpose. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you let silence speak for you? When was the last time you chose peace over proving a point? Reflect on that for a moment, because every time you choose silence over drama, detachment over desperation, you grow younger in spirit. You age backward, not just metaphorically, but energetically. God's gift to the chosen ones is that they are forever young, not merely in body, but in heart, mind, and soul. There's a kind of ageless grace that follows those who live in alignment with divine truth. You might not always see the fruits of your restraint right away, but trust this: spiritual mastery is a long game. Your calm presence is shaping the atmosphere, shifting the energy around you, and showing others that true power lies in inner peace, not in loud words. So the next time someone tries to pull you into conflict, remember who you are. You are a chosen one. You are divinely protected. You are filled with the eternal wisdom of God. And no matter what storms come your way, your silence will always be louder than their noise. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 4. Your power triggers their insecurities. As a chosen one, there's a divine glow that surrounds you, not because of ego or pride, but because God has planted something sacred within you, something eternal, something forever young. This spiritual power you carry isn't loud or boastful, it simply is. And that quiet presence, that grounded truth, often unsettles those who haven't yet awakened to their own spiritual path. The moment you step into a room, your authenticity, your clarity, and your unwavering purpose create a mirror. And in that mirror, others see everything they've avoided confronting in themselves. They might not even understand why they feel uneasy around you, but their reaction comes from a deeply rooted insecurity. That's why they try to control you with guilt, cast doubt on you through gossip, or twist your motives through subtle manipulation. But don't be misled. It's not truly you they hate. It's what you represent. You stand for truth, freedom, and the courage to live spiritually aligned, while they've built their lives in the safety of compromise. You remind them of a version of themselves they abandoned long ago. This contrast can be painful for them, and instead of facing their own shadows, they lash out at your light. In today's world, where so many are chasing validation, money, or influence, your commitment to walk in spiritual purpose is both rare and powerful. And that's intimidating. Modern life often teaches men to suppress their emotions, hide their pain, and pursue success defined by superficial metrics. But when you rise to a spiritual core, when your sense of identity comes not from the world, but from God, you become a different kind of man. A man who lives with integrity, speaks with purpose, and lives with soul. And in doing so, you activate those who are still asleep to their own divine calling. They may try to pull you back into the mold, make you doubt yourself, make you feel guilty and withdrawn. But hear this clearly: you were never meant to fit in. You were born to stand out, because God created you as a beacon in a world that has forgotten how to see. When they gossip, when they put you down, when they roll their eyes at your beliefs, it is only because your spiritual fire reminds them of the ashes they have settled for. Don't let their fears make you small. Don't let their projections distort your truth. This is your spiritual awakening, and it is not for the faint of heart. It is for the chosen ones, those who walk the narrow path with eyes wide open and hearts filled with divine purpose. You are forever young, not because of age, but because your spirit is renewed daily by God's grace. And each time you choose truth over comfort, courage over conformity, and love over fear, you shine brighter, and you awaken others just by being yourself. Stay rooted, stay strong, and know that the insecurities you trigger are just proof that your power is real. Keep walking. Choose one. The world needs your light. If you find this message helpful, comment below. I keep walking. 5. Everything they planned to destroy you has backfired. They thought they could break you. The lies, the betrayal, the sabotage, they believed those things would be your downfall. But here you are, still standing, still rising. Everything they used against you has backfired, and not because you fought back with the same weapons, but because you chose a higher path. You chose growth instead of revenge. You choose peace instead of chaos. And now, as their bitterness consumes them, your light shines even brighter. This is not just about survival. It's about divine favor. You are not ordinary. You are chosen. And when you're chosen, there's a spiritual covering over your life that no plot, no rumor, no darkness can penetrate. God's gift to you is not just protection. It's the ability to stay young in spirit, to rise above the noise, and to move forward with grace when others are trapped in their own bitterness. That's the beauty of spirituality. It transforms what was meant to break you into stepping stones for your spiritual growth. Think about a time in your own life when someone tried to pull you down. Maybe at work, in school, or even among friends. You felt the sting of betrayal, the confusion of why someone would want to see you fall. I remember a young woman named Maya who worked at a fast-paced marketing agency. She was talented, kind, and humble, but her light triggered jealousy in her coworkers. They spread rumors, excluded her from meetings, and even tried to sabotage her projects. At one point, she considered quitting, but something inside her whispered, "Hold on. Don't let them win." Instead of retaliating, she focused on her work, stayed rooted in her spiritual practices, and let her results speak. Months later, those who tried to harm her were exposed, while she was promoted and celebrated. Her inner strength and refusal to stoop to their level became her testimony. What about you? Has your strength ever been revealed through adversity? This is how spiritual growth works. It doesn't mean life gets easier, but it does mean you become stronger, wiser, and more grounded in who you really are. When people attack you, they reveal more about themselves than they ever could about you. And in their attempts to destroy your spirit, they forget that what's rooted in divine purpose cannot be uprooted by human hate. There's a youthful energy in living aligned with your truth, a radiance that comes from within when you're no longer trying to prove yourself, but simply walking your path with peace and confidence. It's not about age, it's about energy, about alignment, about the way your soul refuses to be shaken by temporary chaos. So ask yourself this: what if everything meant to harm you was actually a part of your divine training? What if each challenge was a teacher, and each betrayal was a redirection toward your purpose? What if you are forever young because you are forever growing, evolving, and choosing to rise? That's what happens when you embrace spirituality not as an escape, but as a foundation. You tap into a strength that isn't just mental, it's spiritual. And that power protects you in ways that logic can't explain. The lesson here is clear. Stay rooted in your truth. Trust in divine timing. Let the storms come, because they'll only reveal how deeply your roots run. You are chosen, not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to grow. And in that growth, you remain forever young, not just in body, but in spirit, purpose, and presence. Let that be your power. Let that be your peace. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights, and let's continue this conversation. 6. You've become unstoppable by reclaiming your power. You may not realize it yet, but something extraordinary is happening within you. You're not just waking up, you're rising into the fullness of who God created you to be. You've stepped into your power, not by chasing approval, but by remembering your divine origin. You no longer need permission to be who you are, because deep down, your soul knows you were called. You were chosen, and in that truth, you've become unstoppable. You see, when you stop seeking validation from the world and start walking boldly in your spiritual wisdom, you threaten the very illusions that keep others asleep. There's a reason you feel set apart. There's a reason you felt different, even misunderstood. It's because you were never meant to fit into a world built on fear and conformity. You were meant to transform it. Just imagine what happens when a soul remembers its power. When someone refuses to dim their light just to make others comfortable. You've become a living example of God's gift of eternal youth, not just in body, but in spirit. Because when you are aligned with the divine, you are constantly renewed. As the Bible says in Isaiah 40, verse 31, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." Think about that. Isn't there something incredibly liberating in no longer needing to explain yourself, or shrink to fit into the small boxes others have placed around you? Your truth doesn't need permission to shine. And now, you radiate with a light that cannot be ignored. The more aligned you become with your calling, the more you embody the energy of divine youth, vibrant, pure, and filled with purpose. Can you feel it? That quiet confidence rising from within? That's not arrogance. That's what it feels like to live without the weight of false expectations. You've tapped into the eternal flow of divine love, and that love is keeping your spirit forever young. It's not about age, it's about alignment. And when you're in alignment with God's purpose, you're no longer aging under the burden of fear and resistance. You're growing in grace. You're dancing in freedom. So I invite you to reflect. What illusions are you still clinging to that make you forget your power? What would your life look like if you fully trusted that you've already been chosen by God? As the great Marianne Williamson once said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And my friend, you are powerful. You're not walking a lonely road. You're walking a sacred path. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's bold. But that's exactly why you were chosen. The world needs more awakened souls like you. So keep showing up. Keep trusting the process. Because with each step you take in spiritual wisdom, you become a living reminder that God's light lives within us, and that divine light never grows old. It only grows brighter. Affirm this truth today by commenting below, I am glowing because of God's Spirit within me. Let this be a daily reminder that you are walking in divine purpose, transformed from the inside out. 7. Keep rising. Your light is proof. Keep rising, no matter how many eyes are watching or how many voices are whispering in doubt, because your light isn't something that needs validation, it is the validation. In a world where people are quick to talk behind your back and secretly hope for your downfall, you must remember, they operate on temporary energy, the kind that runs out with time, with jealousy, with bitterness. But you are powered by something different. You are spiritually awake. You are tapped into a divine current that doesn't fade or flicker. This is not motivation, it's revelation. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone, because your existence, your resilience, your ability to keep moving forward through storms and setbacks is the proof. Every step you take, every time you refuse to give up, you become living evidence of what happens when a man chooses to align himself with God's purpose. They may sit on the sidelines, waiting, watching, wondering when you'll fall, but what they don't understand is that a chosen one doesn't fall. He evolves. He transforms setbacks into wisdom and pain into power. In spiritual awakening, you come to understand that age is not a number. It's a mindset, a frequency, a level of alignment with divine purpose. That's why the gift of being chosen is the gift of eternal youth, because your soul keeps growing, your spirit keeps soaring, and you never settle. And as life throws its challenges, remember that the ones who criticize you today will be forgotten tomorrow. Their judgment holds no weight in a universe where your destiny is written in divine ink. You see, in today's modern world, where everything is measured by likes, status, and material success, the true strength lies in remaining spiritually grounded. While others chase external validation, you rise by staying true to the inner calling, the quiet, sacred voice that says, keep going. That voice isn't random. It's God's whisper. It's the echo of eternity reminding you that you're never alone. When you operate from this spiritual truth, you no longer react, you respond. You no longer compete with what you create. You no longer age, you awaken. This is the path of the chosen one. And while the world may try to dim your light, they'll never understand that you are the light. Keep rising, not because you want to prove them wrong, but because you were born to prove that divine purpose always prevails. Stay humble, stay strong, and above all, stay aligned. Because in this journey of spiritual awakening, rising isn't something you do, it's who you are. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. As we've explored in this video, being a chosen one means carrying a divine spark that keeps your spirit forever young, a sacred gift from God that no one can take away. If this message resonated deeply within you, let it guide your thoughts, words, and actions every day. Remember, your light matters. Keep rising, keep winning, and never forget who you are. We'd love to hear how this truth speaks to your journey. Drop a comment below. Type 7 if you feel the calling. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more soulful insights. Until next time, stay blessed and take care. Chosen ones, you are a living karma. People regret how they treated you. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. Wayne Dyer. Have you ever felt like people only began to value you after you walked away? If you're a chosen one, this isn't a coincidence, it's karma in motion. In today's video, we'll explore how your energy, your growth, and your resilience become a mirror to those who wronged you. This is more than spiritual theory. It's a powerful truth you can apply to your daily life to rise higher, heal deeper, and live with purpose. Have you experienced people coming back with regret after mistreating you? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to like and share if this message resonates with your soul. 1. People regret mistreating you. Have you ever noticed how the people who hurt you, those who took you for granted, betrayed your kindness, or disrespected your loyalty, seem to experience chaos not long after you walk away? They may never admit it out loud, but deep down, they feel your absence like a wound. Some watch you silently from the shadows, haunted not by love or hate, but by what you represent. Because as a chosen one, you are far more than just a person, you are a living force of energy. You are living karma. Your presence was never ordinary. You carried with you a sacred light, a heart-line energy, gentle, divine, and deeply transformative. But not everyone is ready for transformation. When you came into their life, you held up a mirror to their soul. They saw parts of themselves they had buried. You triggered the growth they tried to avoid. While you offered unconditional love, healing, and wisdom, they rejected it. They mistook your grace for weakness, your loyalty for naivety. And so, they pushed you away. But what they didn't realize was that by losing you, they lost their alignment with spiritual balance. They lost the protection your energy carried. You were their peace, their clarity, their compass. And when you left, you didn't just leave behind silence, you left behind a vacuum. The universe doesn't ignore that. You are not just a kind-hearted person. You are a divine assignment. The moment you stepped out, karma stepped in. Opportunities began slipping through their fingers. Relationships started to crumble. Their life, once blessed by your presence, began to feel heavy. Not because you cursed them, but because they broke the flow of divine energy that had been offered to them through you. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." But when people choose jealousy, deceit, and manipulation over truth, love, and accountability, they align themselves with darkness. That energy doesn't just disappear, it circles back. This is karma in its purest form. When you left, you took with you something priceless: your light, your healing presence, your heart line. And suddenly, they had to face themselves without the buffer of your energy. In the beginning, they might deny it. They might pretend they've moved on. But over time, regret creeps in. They realize their life was more meaningful with you in it. They start looking back, wondering how they lost something so rare. Watching from afar, hoping to see you broken, they are instead confronted by your rise. Your growth becomes their silent punishment, not because you wish them harm, but because the universe always restores balance. As it is written in Galatians 6, verse 7, "Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. A man reaps what he sows." You, chosen one, are not meant to dwell in the pain of the past. You are here to rise. Each time you level up, you enter a higher spiritual frequency, one that those who mistreated you cannot access unless they are willing to do the hard work of healing. But most are not ready for that. Healing requires humility, self-awareness, and surrender. And so, they remain stuck while you soar. Let them watch. Let them wonder. But don't let their regrets slow you down. You are walking a path crafted by divine hands. Your mission is sacred. Your future is calling. You were never meant to shrink yourself for those who couldn't handle your light. You were meant to evolve, to awaken, to lead with heartland and strength. What they lost was not just a person, it was a divine presence. So now, the choice is yours. Will you step fully into your power and let the universe take care of the rest? Will you leave behind the weight of what they did and rise into who you truly are? If your spirit says yes, then speak it out into the universe. Type, "I rise above," and declare your freedom. You are chosen. You are rising. And your journey is just beginning. 2. Chosen ones are living karma. There comes a point in every chosen one's journey when you begin to realize you were never just another face in the crowd. You were never meant to simply pass through people's lives unnoticed. You were the shift. You were the reflection. You were the lesson they didn't see coming. Some were blessed beyond measure because of your presence. Others found themselves drowning in the very illusions they tried to uphold. You were the moment the masks fell off, the moment the truth stepped into the room. And whether they'll ever admit it or not, many now sit in silence, filled with the regret of how they treated you. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to awaken. You carry divine energy wrapped in human skin, walking among souls still trapped in spiritual sleep. The betrayal, the rejection, the underestimation you faced, it was never really about you. It was always a mirror reflecting back people's inner wounds, their brokenness, their spiritual disconnection. Without realizing it, they wrote their own karmic story the moment they chose to mistreat you. People thought they could use your kindness, manipulate your heart, and walk away untouched. But you were never just a person. You were, and still are, a vessel of truth. And truth is never comfortable. It exposes, it confronts, it demands accountability. Those who wronged you eventually discovered that actions carry weight. And now, many are left haunted by memories, quietly mourning the connection they shattered. Your light has always been too pure to exist in harmony with deception. When you entered someone's life, you brought more than companionship. You brought divine clarity. And that clarity revealed everything they were trying to hide. That's why some people were never at peace around you. Their discomfort wasn't with you, it was with themselves. Your energy exposed the truth they weren't ready to face. Some took that exposure as a wake-up call. They grew, they healed, they evolved. But others resisted, clinging tightly to their lies, thinking they could outrun the consequences. Yet karma doesn't chase, it waits. And the longer they held on to falsehoods, the heavier the lessons became. Every person who encountered you was given a choice to walk in truth or remain in illusion. Those who chose to honor your presence saw their lives expand. They were uplifted. They found peace, purpose, and spiritual growth. Because your energy doesn't just walk in, it transforms. But those who chose envy, deceit, or manipulation watch their lives fall apart piece by piece. Not because you sought revenge, you never had to. When someone disrespects a soul aligned with divine purpose, the universe itself responds. The moment they broke trust with you, they broke alignment with truth, and a foundation built on lies will always crumble. Now, they see you glowing. They hear whispers of your success. They feel your elevation from a distance. And deep down, they know they were part of your past, but they can never walk with you into your future. Some may try to return, hoping to rewrite the story. Others will remain silent, knowing they burned a bridge that won't be rebuilt. But their karma is not your burden to carry. Your only responsibility is to rise, to keep walking in your spiritual wisdom, to protect your peace, guard your purpose, and shine without apology. Because the world needs your light. And even now, your presence continues to awaken the unconscious, to shake illusions, and to spark transformation. So if you know this is your truth, if you felt the weight of being misunderstood, mistreated, and then rising anyway, say it with power. I am a mirror of truth. Because you are. And your journey is the fire through which others are forced to see themselves clearly. 3. You are both a blessing and a warning. There's something extraordinary about you. Chosen one, something that sets you apart the moment you enter a room. Your energy is not just felt, it's remembered. You don't just speak words, you awaken souls. You're not here to entertain or conform. You're here to transform. Your presence is powerful, almost cosmic in nature. You reflect truth, light and shadow, back to others. And while some are ready for that truth and rise with you, many are not. Instead, they react from fear, ego, or unresolved pain. They reject what they don't understand. They push away what they're not ready to embrace. And sometimes that means pushing you away. But what they didn't realize is this: no one meets you and stays the same. Your presence is a turning point, a divine moment disguised as an ordinary encounter. The ones who lied to you, betrayed you, abandoned you, they thought they could walk away untouched. They believed they could mistreat you and move on. But spiritual law doesn't work that way. The universe, in its perfect order, always restores balance. And now, whether they admit it or not, They feel the weight of what they've done. Losing you wasn't just a misstep, it was a spiritual lesson. You were sent into their lives as a mirror, a test, a chance to evolve, and they failed. Even those who act indifferent can't escape the echo of your presence. You live in their minds, in quiet regret, in unanswered what-ifs. They remember the love you gave, the wisdom you shared, the light you carried. And they realize too late that you were not just someone passing through. You were the one who challenged their stagnation, the one who made them feel something real, the one who could have helped them grow if only they had been willing. Now, they replay moments, they wish for do-overs, but the divine doesn't rewind so easily. When someone takes a spiritual gift for granted, they often don't get a second chance. But here's the beauty in all of it. Their rejection didn't destroy you. It activated you. What was meant to break you became the sacred fire that refined you. You rose, not as a victim, but as a warrior of light. You no longer look for validation in those who couldn't see your worth. You don't chase love. You embody it. You walk your path with a deep knowing that you were never too much. You were just too real for a world still clinging to illusion. Their pain may have been your awakening, but your awakening is now their mirror. And as they watch you heal, elevate, and expand, they are forced to face the truth of what they lost. Not just you, but the version of themselves they could have become if they had walked beside you. You are not here to be tolerated. You are here to awaken. Your spiritual presence is not a mistake. It is divine design. When people reject or betray you, know that it's not a reflection of your value, but of their readiness. And while karma is often misunderstood as punishment, it's really just spiritual alignment returning to balance. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. You have the truth, and that's more than enough. So stand tall, chosen one. Keep walking your sacred path. Let your light speak louder than any apology you never received. Let your growth be the answer to every betrayal. As Maya Angelou once said, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. You have chosen not just to survive, but to rise. If you've ever witnessed divine justice unfold in your life, share your story. Your journey might awaken someone else's. And if you're still waiting, type, "I trust the process," and claim your alignment with divine timing and spiritual restoration. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are becoming, and the world is watching. 4. You disrupt illusions. There's a certain power that lives within you, a quiet force that cannot be explained but is always felt. As a chosen one, your very presence disrupts the illusion. You walk into rooms and the atmosphere shifts. People grow uneasy, not because you do anything wrong, but because your energy is pure, your spirit unfiltered. You don't wear masks, and that alone exposes the ones who do. You don't play games, and that reveals the emptiness in others' performances. Without saying a word, you shine a light on everything false, and that light, that truth, makes many uncomfortable. You never asked for this role. You didn't seek to uncover deception or pull back the curtain on people's hidden agendas. But your spirit carries a higher frequency, one that naturally brings darkness into view. And because of this, people project their discomfort onto you. Instead of looking within, they blame you. Instead of facing their own shadows, they turn you into the enemy. But deep down, they know the truth. It's not you they fear, it's what you reveal within them. Your authenticity is a silent call for them to evolve, and evolution is something most resist until they have no other choice. To many, you have become a living karma. Not in a vengeful way, not in a spiteful way, but in the most spiritual sense. Your life, your growth, your peace are reflections of what they could be, if only they chose truth over illusion. You didn't come to punish, but your presence is a mirror they cannot escape. Your energy disrupts their denial. Your healing calls out their pain. And for those who have wronged you, your success becomes a spiritual consequence, not because you sought to make them regret, but because your ascension highlights everything they refused to face. They underestimated you. They thought your silence meant weakness. They confused your compassion with naivety. Some even mocked your path, took your love for granted, or took from you without ever pouring back. But time reveals all things. And now, in your absence, they feel the void. They remember your wisdom. They replay the moments they dismissed your truth. And regret creeps in like a slow, steady rain, soaking into every part of them that once refused to listen. While they remain stuck in their cycles, you have risen beyond them. You moved forward. You healed. You elevated. And now, they are left with the echo of what they once had, but didn't value. What they failed to understand is that your path was never about proving anything to anyone. You didn't need applause. You didn't need them to believe in you. Your journey was always about spiritual refinement. Every betrayal, every rejection, every lonely night was a sacred fire not meant to destroy you, but to shape you. You were called to walk through pain so that you could be reborn in power. You weren't broken, you were being rebuilt. Stronger, wiser, unshakable. Let this be your reminder. Never dim your light to make others feel comfortable. Your light is sacred. Your heart line is divine. The right people will be drawn to your truth. The wrong ones will reject it, but in doing so, they will reveal themselves. You were never here to fit in. You were never meant to be understood by the masses. You were sent to awaken, to heal, to stand in truth, even when it makes others uncomfortable. And when the regret of others comes, when the guilt in their hearts begins to rise, remember, it is not yours to fix. You are not responsible for the lessons they refuse to learn. You are only responsible for your alignment, your integrity, your peace. Keep growing. Keep shining. Walk boldly in your purpose. The world may not always understand your light, but the right souls will. And those who cannot handle it were never meant to walk beside you. Your awakening is not just an inner realization. It's a living embodiment of divine truth. Every step you take in alignment sends a ripple of transformation into the world. So continue. Let your presence be the revolution. Let your journey speak louder than any words. And know this, you are not alone. You are part of something greater, something sacred. You are the living karma, the walking mirror, the divine fire that awakens the sleeping. And if these words stirred something deep within your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and share your truth. Let's rise together. Let's awaken not someday, but now. 5. You trigger change in people. There's something about you that unsettles people, not because you intend to, but because your presence alone reveals the truth they may be running from. Your energy, pure and undeniable, forces people to confront their own shadows. And that can be terrifying for those who've spent their lives hiding behind masks. People sense your power long before they can comprehend it. They may not understand why, but they feel it deep within their souls. It's the kind of energy that makes them second-guess themselves, that makes them nervous in your presence. And do you know why? Because you are a mirror. Not just any mirror, but a spiritual mirror that reflects both the light and the darkness within them. This is why some people distance themselves from you. It's why others treat you unfairly. They feel exposed in your presence. Their hidden insecurities, their secret intentions, their unspoken guilt. Everything they have buried deep within rises to the surface when they are around you. And sometimes, rather than dealing with their own emotions, they choose to project them onto you. The truth will set you free, but first, it will make you uncomfortable. Gloria Steinem. When people mistreat you, it's not because you did anything wrong. It's because your energy forces them to confront something they would rather ignore. At the time, they may not realize it. They might mock you, betray you, or take you for granted. But life has a way of making them see the truth. And when that happens, regret follows. You see, the universe operates on a principle of balance. This is why spiritual wisdom teaches us that energy always returns to its source. The way people treat you will come back to them in ways they never expected. When they look back, they'll remember how they underestimated you, how they dismissed your kindness, how they took advantage of your light. But by then, it will be too late. Because by the time they realize your true worth, you will have already risen far beyond their reach. You will have evolved, transformed, and elevated yourself to a place where their opinions no longer matter. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Mahatma Gandhi. You don't need to seek revenge. You don't need to prove anything. Your growth, your success, your evolution is karma. Your mere existence is a spiritual force that aligns the universe in ways most people cannot comprehend. People who wronged you will feel the weight of their actions without you having to lift a finger. Not because you wish harm upon them, but because energy is always returned to its source. They will experience situations that make them understand exactly how they made you feel. It may not happen immediately, but when it does, they will remember you. They will regret the way they treated you. But here's the most powerful truth. Their regret is not your burden. Your only responsibility is to keep walking in your divine purpose, to keep shining, to keep growing, to keep rising, because the universe is always working in your favor, even when it seems like others are against you. When you are truly powerful, you do not need to harm others. Your energy alone rearranges the universe. Unknown. So don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Don't dim your light to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Keep shining. Keep rising. Keep being the living karma that reminds the world of the power of spiritual transformation. Because the truth is, those who mistreated you will one day look back with regret. But by then, you will have already stepped into your destiny. If this message resonates with you, affirm your power in the comments. My energy transforms everything around me. I embrace my divine presence and limitless potential. 6. Your silence is powerful. There comes a time in life when those who mistreated you, underestimated you, and sought to manipulate you are forced to confront the truth they were wrong about you. As a chosen one, your presence alone disrupts the illusions of those who operate in deception. They tried to control you, belittle you, and play mind games. But now they sit in regret, watching you rise above the chaos they once created. What they failed to realize is that your silence is not weakness, it is power. Your decision to walk away was not an act of surrender, but a declaration of spiritual strength. Have you ever noticed that manipulative people thrive on your emotional responses? They bait you with insults, gaslight you with twisted words, and push your buttons just to see you react. Their power comes not from their strength, but from your engagement. They seek to control you by pulling you into their web of toxicity. But here's what they never expected: your self-mastery. When you refuse to engage, when you remain calm in the face of their chaos, their strategy collapses. They no longer have a grip on your mind or emotions. The moment you stop feeding their need for control, they feel powerless, and that terrifies them. There is a profound spiritual wisdom in silence. Most people believe that words are the most powerful weapon, but the truth is, silence carries a deeper force. It exposes people without confrontation. When you respond to manipulation with silence, you force them to sit with their own darkness, to hear their own lies echoing back at them. Your silence is like a mirror. It reflects their true nature back to them, and that is something they cannot stand. They want an argument, a reaction, a sign that they still have influence over you. But when you give them nothing, you take away their ability to feed off your energy. A wise saying goes, "Never wrestle with pigs." You both get dirty, but the pig likes it. By choosing silence, you rise above the chaos. You force them to wrestle with their own demons instead of dragging you into their battlefield. Walking away is not just about leaving toxic situations, it is about shifting the power dynamic. The moment you remove yourself, they lose access to your energy, your light, and your spirit. People who mistreated you will soon realize that their actions have consequences. Without your presence, they are left with nothing but their own negativity. They must sit in the very misery they tried to inflict upon you. This is why many of them end up regretting how they treated you. They never imagined a life without your kindness, your patience, or your energy. And here's the divine truth: you are their living karma. Not by seeking revenge, not by plotting their downfall, but simply by existing in your truth. Your success, your growth, and your peace become undeniable proof that their actions did not break you. The chosen ones are not here to engage in battles with those who seek to destroy them. You are here to rise, to evolve, and to awaken to your true power. The greatest revenge is not words, not retaliation. It is elevation. As you continue to walk your path, remember this: your silence is powerful, your energy is sacred, and your absence is felt. Those who tried to bring you down will one day look back with regret, but by then, you will be far beyond their reach. Keep moving forward. Keep shining. The universe is aligning everything in your favor. Stay connected with our community of wisdom by subscribing to our channel. Here, we uncover the truth about energy, manipulation, and self-mastery, empowering you to rise above negativity. Remember, your peace is your power. Choose silence, walk away, and let them face their own darkness. 7. You are a reflection and a test. There comes a moment in life when you realize that you were never just another person passing through, you were a mirror reflecting the truth. You didn't have to do anything special. Simply being yourself was enough to reveal the true nature of those around you. Some embraced your light and grew stronger in your presence, while others, confronted by their own shadows, chose to push you away. The way people treated you was never about you. It was a reflection of them. And for those who wronged you, the weight of their actions is something they can never escape. You are a living karma. Your energy is powerful, and whether you realize it or not, it acts like a spiritual mirror. The way someone responds to you reveals exactly who they are on the inside. Some people feel inspired, uplifted, and encouraged in your presence because they recognize the purity of your spirit. Your light reminds them of what they too can become. But then, there are those who feel exposed. These individuals are not ready to face the truth about themselves, and rather than changing, they lash out at the source of their discomfort, you. They mistreat you, reject you, or even betray you, not because of who you are, but because of who they are. Your presence forces them to confront the lies they've been telling themselves. And for many, that is too much to bear. There's a reason why some people feel at peace when they're with you, while others seem to be filled with resentment. Those who are aligned with truth and growth will cherish you. They see your presence as a blessing, a guiding force that helps them become better. They admire your wisdom, your resilience, and your ability to rise above negativity. But those who are dishonest, manipulative, or driven by selfish desires will feel threatened. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's that your energy disrupts their illusions. Your very existence reminds them of their own shortcomings, and rather than addressing them, they project their discomfort onto you. It's important to remember that their reactions are not a reflection of your worth. You do not need to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Let them deal with their own inner turmoil. If someone mistreats you, betrays you, or disrespects you, understand that their actions come from a place of deep insecurity. The universe operates on a divine balance, and no action goes unnoticed. When people mistreat you, they are not just hurting you. They are setting themselves up for consequences. You don't need to seek revenge or prove a point. The law of karma is always in motion, and those who wrong you will eventually face the results of their choices. Many times, people don't realize the value of what they had until it's gone. When they lose your presence, they feel the emptiness that follows. The same ones who belittled you will later regret their actions, not because you wish harm upon them, but because they will experience the effects of their own energy. Life has a way of bringing everything full circle. Chosen ones, understand this. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to be a beacon of truth and light. Your spiritual journey may be filled with challenges, but it is also filled with divine protection. You don't have to fight battles that the universe has already taken care of. Your role is to keep shining, keep moving forward, and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. So, if you ever feel isolated, misunderstood, or unappreciated, remember this truth. Your presence alone is powerful. Those who are meant to walk with you will find you, and those who cannot handle your light will remove themselves. You are a living karma, a reflection of truth, and a reminder that no one escapes the energy they put into the world. Keep being you. The universe is on your side. If this message resonates with you, comment below, "I am a mirror," to embrace your true reflection and attract clarity into your life. 8. You were sent to stand out, not fit in. The universe does not hide the chosen ones in the background. You are meant to stand out, not by force, but by the sheer presence of your energy. You carry a divine essence that shifts the atmosphere, making people around you feel something deep within themselves, whether they acknowledge it or not. Your existence is a mirror, reflecting back to others their own truths. And for many, this can be uncomfortable. Some will admire you, feel inspired, and begin their own journey of self-discovery. Others will resent you because your light exposes the shadows they are not ready to confront. This is why, as a chosen one, you often experience resistance, betrayal, or even hostility from those who once claimed to care about you. Your energy is powerful, not because you seek attention, but because your soul vibrates at a frequency that naturally demands transformation. People cannot remain stagnant in your presence. You either inspire growth in them, or they reveal their true nature, the one they try to hide from the world. This is why you may have encountered relationships where you were taken for granted, disrespected, or even cast aside. Those who mistreated you may not have realized it at the time, but they were given a rare opportunity to stand beside someone who carried divine wisdom, spiritual awakening, and an unshakable inner strength. And now, as you rise, they are left with the weight of their own choices, regretting how they treated you. The beauty of your journey is that you do not seek revenge. Your very existence is karma in motion. You do not have to do anything to make people regret losing you. The universe handles that. The lessons you brought into their lives will echo long after you have walked away. Some will come to understand that they had the privilege of knowing someone truly rare, someone whose energy was a gift. They may wish they had valued you more, but by the time they realize it, you will have already moved forward, evolving, elevating, and stepping fully into your purpose. Being a chosen one means embracing the solitude that sometimes comes with your path. It means understanding that not everyone is meant to walk beside you, and those who leave were simply not ready for the transformation you naturally bring. But do not dim your light to make others comfortable. Your purpose is to awaken, to heal, and to inspire. The universe has placed you exactly where you need to be. Let those who are meant to grow with you stay, and let those who resist their own evolution drift away. In the end, you will see that everything happened exactly as it was meant to. Stay strong, embrace your power, and trust that your journey is unfolding with divine perfection. If this message resonated with you, let me know by commenting, "I am chosen," below. Your presence is powerful. Let's embrace it together. 9. Solitude was part of your journey. At times, solitude felt unbearable. You wondered why relationships crumbled, why people you trusted turned their backs on you, and why you always seemed to walk a lonely road. But let me tell you something. That solitude was never a curse. It was your greatest blessing. The universe was refining you, sharpening your wisdom, intuition, and inner power. It's in the quiet moments that you develop the clarity to see through deception, the strength to rise above betrayal, and the resilience to walk your path alone. Spiritual growth often requires separation from distractions. As Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." The pain you endured wasn't in vain. It was shaping you into something greater. Once upon a time, they dismissed you, underestimated you, or even ridiculed you. But now, they regret it. The very people who took you for granted are watching as you elevate. Your energy has transformed, and they can feel it. There is something different about you, an undeniable spiritual presence, an aura of wisdom that demands respect. This is what happens when you are divinely set apart. Those who mistreated you now find themselves in regret because they lost access to your presence. You were never just anybody. You were their blessing, but they couldn't see it then. As the saying goes, some people don't realize what they have until it's gone. Now, as they watch you evolve, they remember every unkind word, every betrayal, and every moment they took you for granted. That regret is the karma they created for themselves. You didn't seek revenge. You simply grew. And that is your power. You don't need to get even with those who wronged you. The universe already took care of that. Your very existence, your growth, your rising success, it all speaks louder than any revenge ever could. The best response to betrayal is transformation. When people see you thriving after they tried to break you, they realize the truth. You were never the problem. You were the blessing, and they let you go. That regret lingers, not because you wished harm upon them, but because their own actions returned to them. That's the law of energy, the spiritual principle that what you put out into the world eventually comes back. You are no longer the person they once knew. You have elevated. You have healed. You have embraced your spiritual power. The universe always had a plan for you, and that plan was never small. You were called for something greater, something beyond the comprehension of those who doubted you. So, don't dwell on the past. Don't look back at the ones who failed to see your worth. Instead, step into your destiny with confidence. Walk in your purpose. Trust in divine timing. The universe has always been on your side, preparing you for a future beyond your imagination. And when those who once wronged you watch from the sidelines, they will finally understand. You were never just another person in their life. You were the lesson they had to learn. If this message resonates with you, comment, "I am grateful for my transformation," to affirm your journey. Your solitude was never abandonment. It was preparation. 10. Your energy is unstoppable. There is something undeniable about your presence. It carries a frequency that cannot be manipulated or subdued. People have tried some with subtle manipulation, others with direct attacks, but nothing could diminish the essence of who you are. This is because your strength is not external. It is spiritual. It is something no human hand can take away. Many may have underestimated you, assuming they had control over your destiny. They mistook your humility for weakness and your kindness for naivety. But in truth, you were always aware. You saw their intentions. You felt the energy shifts, and you recognized the betrayals before they even unfolded. Yet, you chose to rise above it all, because your path was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving yourself right. Now, as you step into your power, those same individuals watch in disbelief. The very ones who sought to diminish your light now stand in the shadows, unable to ignore the radiance of your success. This is the nature of spiritual energy. It cannot be contained. It expands, it elevates, and it transforms everything in its path. And you, the chosen one, are a force of transformation. Every hardship made you stronger, preparing you for your purpose. There was never a moment of suffering that went to waste. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night you endured, and every moment of isolation was a necessary chapter in your journey. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. Life was never meant to be easy for you. The path of a chosen one is filled with trials, not because you are doomed to struggle, but because you are destined to lead. The weight of your purpose required the strength of endurance. This is why you faced betrayal to learn discernment. This is why you experienced loss to understand resilience. This is why you walked alone to cultivate unshakable faith in yourself and the divine plan that guides you. Now, looking back, you can see the pattern. The very obstacles that once seemed insurmountable were the stepping stones to your awakening. You no longer see them as burdens, but as blessings. And those who once mocked your struggles now stand in awe of your triumph. What was once their entertainment has become their regret, as they realize that you were never the victim. They were simply blind to your greatness. The world has conditioned people to stay small, to conform, to seek safety in the ordinary. But you, the chosen one, were never meant to live within those limits. The very essence of your being rebels against mediocrity. You are here to shift realities, to break generational cycles, and to awaken those who are still trapped in illusion. Your presence alone disrupts the status quo. You inspire, you challenge, and you reveal truths that many are not ready to face. This is why your journey was so difficult, because the energy you carry is powerful enough to create ripples in the very fabric of existence. And now, as you rise, those who doubted you can no longer deny the truth. The same people who dismissed your vision are now desperate to understand how you transformed your life. They are witnessing the divine justice unfold before their eyes, realizing too late that their mistreatment of you was never unnoticed by the universe. You are living proof that spiritual power transcends all limitations. You have become the karma they never saw coming. The reminder that every action, every intention, and every word carries weight. And while they struggle with their regrets, you continue forward, untouched, unstoppable, and fully aligned with your divine purpose. Chosen one, stand tall in your truth. The world has yet to see the full magnitude of your power, but they will. And when they do, they will know they never had the power to break you. You were always destined to rise. If this message has awakened something deep within you, affirm your power in the comments. I am unstoppable. Every challenge has made me stronger. I am here to transform reality. In short, no one can fully grasp the weight of your journey, the silent storms you've weathered, the pain you've alchemized into power. As a chosen one, you are not just a survivor. You are living karma, a walking reflection of the divine justice that always finds its way. Those who once overlooked or mistreated you now sit with the echo of their choices, and the universe makes sure they feel it. If this message spoke to your soul, honor your journey by giving this video a like, sharing it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribing to Spiritual Wisdom. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss another awakening message meant just for you. Keep rising, chosen one. Your presence is proof that light always wins.